In this video, we are going to learn how we can use ArchiCAD to prepare a concrete model for reinforcement in STRAKON. So in front of us, we have a simple reinforced concrete building. So it's a two-story building with reinforced concrete walls and elements, but it also has a lot of dividing walls which are not structural. So we need to define which of these elements are structural and made from concrete, so we can export it to STRAKON. So this is best done by going into one of our floor plans. And when modeling, we need to define which of the elements are structural. So if I select one of our outer walls and see its properties, I can see that under tab Structural Analytic Parameters, this is defined as a structural member. So since it is defined as a structural member, it will be exported to the 3D reinforcement concrete model. But this wall also has some other layers. So we can see on the outside, it has some insulation and things like that. So we don't want this to be exported. So we go to Options, Element Attributes, and Composites. And here a new window opens up where we have all of the composites for our walls, slabs, roofs, and just planes. And we can select which of these layers are structural. So here I have, for instance, just a simple wall. It's a brick wall, and on the outer layer, I can see that we have some insulation. So we have 19 centimeters of insulation, and this is defined only as outer. Here in the middle, we have 45 centimeters of brick wall, and this is defined as core. So we need to define this for all of our elements. So for our walls, for our slabs, for our roofs, if we have it. So for instance, if I go here to slab, so I have a slab here, so it has many layers, but only here, the 20 centimeter one is defined as core. So the rest are just other. Okay, so we need to define this. And if there are any elements that are not structural, they just need to be, if I go here to properties, they have to be just undefined or defined as non-load bearing. When we have everything defined, let's go to the 3D model, and we can use this view. So now we are viewing the entire model. Let's just view the core of load-bearing elements only. If I click this, I'll now only see the load-bearing elements. So if I go inside the building, I don't have any more of these dividing walls. I just have some the RC elements. I can also see here that some of the elements are not correctly defined as load-bearing. So here are just some cladding that was defined as load-bearing. So let's just quickly define this as non-load bearing. So I will use filter, just maybe filter by layer. So here by layer, and select all of these elements. So we have some of these elements also at the top floor here, and just go here and select them as non-load bearing. Okay. Now all of these elements are gone because they are non-load bearing, and everything is cleaned up. Okay, so it's always good to do this check before sending out to the structural engineer. So this is it, and now we can export this model. So we go to File, Save As, and we need to choose the IFC file. So I will just use IFC file. Before saving, we can also filter by element. So here we can filter, for instance, by layer or by element. So different type of element. You can also just select here load-bearing elements only. So let's, for instance, select this. Okay. And we can now save it. So I will save it as STRAKON model. Okay, save it just to my desktop. Okay, now it is saved. I will just do, before sending it out, I will do a quick check. So here I just have a IFC viewer. Okay, I can see this model is pretty okay. But here at the bottom, I have a problem. So some of these foundations were not correctly translated. So I will go back to ArchiCAD and look at the problem. So I can see here that these angular elements were not correctly translated. So the solution here is just to select them and convert them to morph. So just select them, click right click and convert selection to morphs. So instead of foundation, now they will just be defined as 3D elements. And let's try to export now. Let's say STRAKON model 2. Okay. Let's check it again. Here at the bottom. Okay, now I can see this foundation is now correctly translated. And I will now send this model to my colleague Marco. He will show you how to reinforce this model.
Hello everyone, after my colleague Boris, I will do my job in our software STRAKON. So Boris already finished his model in ArchiCAD and sent me ArchiCAD IFC file to upload that IFC in STRAKON. So you can see in down left window that I create in project model type a submodel, like main submodel, that is 3D model IFC ArchiCAD, which is my main submodel in this project. I will now go to insert IFC model from ArchiCAD, and model is STRAKON model 2, as you can see, and it has 0 errors. So when we go to the top view of this model, as you can see, this model is a little bit rotated, so now we will fix it. So we will go to the edit commands on the main bar. So as you can see, start, insert, objects, rebar, meshes, components, and edit. After we will go to the edit and to the rotate command, of course, and we will use the axis to rotate our building to the general position, because we will need that after for the drawings. Okay, now the object is completely rotated and all is fixed, and we can after that reinforce the object in the correct way, and after that give the all drawings. So on the left of window, as you can see, we can set some layers. So this is like terrain layers, and we have temeljna plošća, which is like foundation slab, and we can add that selection to the layer foundation slab. So after that we can hide all things, only foundation slab will be active. And after that, when I rotate this model, as you can see, we only have active like foundation slab, and we can reinforce that easily. But before that, we need to create some submodels for the reinforcement. So my first submodel will be rubna armatura temeljne ploče, which is reinforcement of the foundation slab, and I will add one more layer, one more submodel, that is mreže gornje I donje zone, that is meshes upper and down zone. So after I add these two submodels, I can go to reinforce that foundation slab. So when I accept this name for the submodel, I will put active rubna armatura. So that will be bars and U-stirrups of the foundation slab. So first of all, I will go with the stirrup, U-shaped rebar, and I will put Phi 8, for example, and reinforcement B 500B. So I'll put some dimensions of the U-shaped rebar, doesn't matter. So we will go to reinforce our foundation slab first with U-shaped rebar. I will put this U-shaped rebar every 20 centimeters, for example. And when I create on the one side, I can go with wire. Wire is straight rebar, so we will go with Phi 14, for example, and we can put, for example, 3 or 4 bars. Okay, I will put 4. And as you can see now, our reinforcement is red. This is red because length is much higher than 14 meters. So we will fix that. So if I click to the rebar, I will go to the maximum delivery length. As you can see in the settings, the maximum length is 14 meters. Okay, so I will put 6, for example, 6 meters and 60 centimeters overlap. So 600 centimeters is our reinforcement and overlap length is 60 centimeters. Okay, after we put overlaps in our reinforcement, in our wires rebar, I will go to the copy every reinforcement to every side, and only what we need to fix is the hook to be straight on some edges, and we will do that when we copy to the all side. Okay, now I right click on my mouse and I accept the command of the copy. I finish copy of this reinforcement, and now only I need to put straight edge on my first and second edge. As you can see, I don't want to have some hook. I want to have straight end, so I will put straight end. Okay, also this edge will have straight end, so I change hook angle for 0 from 90 to 0, and on the other side, of course, also from 90 degrees to the 0 degrees, because I want to straight rebar. Okay, after that I will go to finish this. And now we finish the edge reinforcement of the foundation slab. Okay, this is all good. And after that we can put some meshes, because we need meshes in foundations, but before I need to add that reinforcement to this Rubna Armatura, which is submodel for the edge reinforcement. After that I switch blue lines on the Mreža Gornje i Donje zone, which is meshes for the upper and down zone. In up zone we put Q5 to 4 reinforcement, but in the down zone we will put Q335 a mesh in down zone, in the lower zone. So after that we reinforced all model of the foundation. Maybe we can add some additional reinforcement, but doesn't matter. This is only like video where we show how you can do with project model from IFC, from ArchiCAD. Okay, now I want to put some maybe drawings of the reinforcement in sheets. So I will hide everything from the model, only I will stay with foundation slab. And if I want new paper, I want to create new con file. Con is file in STRAKON, so I will put this is drawing of the edge reinforcement in foundation slab. And when I go to the 3D, STRAKON asks me which submodels I want to upload. So always upload 3D model, which is main model, and upload the model, submodel of course, which reinforcement you want to create in sheets. So I upload 3D model, IFC as a main model, and the Rubna Armatura, which is edge reinforcement, which I need to create on this sheet. So you upload the things that you want to create to place on this first sheet. So on the first sheet I want to put only edge reinforcement. So I can set the view that don't have the walls and columns upper from foundation slab. So I can do cut like this, section like this, but if I want to see walls and columns that are coming upper than foundation slab, I need to cut, for example, 30 centimeters upper from the foundation slab. So I will cut like that. So I will cut and make section like this. So if I make the section like this, I will see the walls that are coming and columns that are coming upper that foundation slab, and I will put this view, export this view to the 2D. So if I export this, Strakon asks us to make that sheets, to make that reinforcement of the sheets, and we will do one by one. So first of all, we have some edge reinforcement, U-shaped rebar, and some rebar wires. So we have a few positions because we cut every 6 meters our bars. So I will do one by one. So when you finish the first side, Strakon automatically asks you for the other 3 sides. So now I do the second side and we will switch to the third side. Also we have some hole on this middle foundation slab where we fix the reinforcement in the 3D when we change the hook from 19 degrees to the 0 degrees, because we want the straight rebar in these holes. And also when I put all these things, I will do, for example, reinforcement statement, which I can place in PDF or which I can place on the sheet, this sheet where we're creating the drawing. So we will finish in few seconds. I will place all reinforcement. Okay, when I finish to place all reinforcement, I will finish this drawing and I can switch on some other drawing, or I can place some details, I can place some reinforcement statement, and etc. So now I put the last straight bar, and after that the last U-shaped rebar, and I finish my drawing. Okay, automatically software, when you finish to place all reinforcement, software automatically push you in 3D cube, and that's, you know, that you are create all rebars that you have in 3D cube. So also if I want some detail, some other window, I can place this window 1 to 10 and place some detail if I want, but doesn't matter now. I will back to the 2D and I will show you how you can have the reinforcement statement one by one, and also how you can group all statement and place on the paper. So you can go better polygon and you can have one by one manually created if you need to do that. But if you don't need to do that, you can go to the same icon. So if you go to the same icon and don't put better polygon, put better group and double click on the sheet, and you can place all the reinforcement that you have in your drawing. Okay, also you can do this with the meshes, but doesn't matter. I will only show how you can create the new sheet. So if you go to the new file, new, and put the drawing name. So for example, if you put sheet for the meshes of the foundation, you can apply and okay. And after that, software asks you which thing you want to create on this drawing. Of course, meshes, and always, as I say, put that main 3D IFC ArchiCAD model, because you need geometry to have placed your drawings, your reinforcement in your sheets, in your drawings.